I remember I dated a girl in college for a little while, and she brought me back to her apartment because she wanted to show me her collection of healing crystals and do a tarot reading and then compare birth charts. Um, but I was open minded and, I didn't want her to think that I wasn't cool for not being into crystals, so I thought, okay, I'll just go along with it. And although it didn't work out with her for very long, it did make me think, was there something about crystals that I was maybe dismissing? And the more I think about it, no, I don't think that crystals are magical. I don't think that they're imbued with special or unique energy, or that they're imbued with any energy at all. But I do think that with the right mindset, they can be used for healing properties. Let me explain. If we look at this whole crystal collection experience, you can really break it down into several subroutines that are very similar to very well-known, scientifically established practices for healing trauma and improving your emotional well-being. Okay, so it's not magical. But what I think is happening when you're consulting the crystals is that you're getting inside of your own internal experience. You're consulting with yourself and you're asking, what am I feeling right now? Where am I out of balance? What do I need right now to restore balance? And in order to ask yourself those questions, you actually have to be quiet and ask yourself how you feel and really get in tune with yourself. You're bringing a mindful awareness to your inner experience, and that is a very healing process. That process of getting inside of your experience and asking yourself how you're feeling, it's pretty similar to journaling when you think about it, right? If you were journaling and talking about how your day went and how certain things made you feel, it's an inner inventory. It's also a mindfulness practice, so one could think of it somewhat as a meditative experience. In dialectical behavior therapy, or DBT, naming your emotions is a huge core component of that, to take that awareness and to say, I am feeling angry. This emotion is sadness. This is grief. And in addition to these analogs that I've already pointed out, you get another benefit from this process. And those are the benefits that are associated with adopting the mindset of, I have a problem, let me fix it, as opposed to, I have a problem, I'm running away. We actually know this both from the trauma literature and the neuroscience literature of affective neuroscience, that in the brain you have distinct systems that are created for more approach-based behaviors and then more retreat-based behaviors. So what that means is there's actually two different systems that you have inside you. One of them turns on as you see a challenge and you move towards it, and the other system is when you see an object in front of you or a challenge and you move away from it. Moving forward elicits a lot of positive emotions associated with taking matters into your own hands, feeling like you have some sense of agency over your situation, taking control, as opposed to the retreat systems in your brain, where the presumption therefore is, this is too stressful for me to deal with, I can't fix it, it's too big of a problem, it's too complicated, I'm insufficient as a person, and that promotes a lot of anxiety and negative emotional states. So when you think about it, these subroutines have direct analogs to a more scientifically well-established method of healing trauma and improving your emotional well-being. So it's not that far-fetched to consider that maybe this is a good practice. So are crystals inherently magical? Are they imbued with some sort of supernatural energy that promotes healthy well-being or healing? No. I think that the fundamental problem that the people who believe in the healing power of crystals are making is that when they look at this whole process, they are attributing all the benefits, the healing, the power, the magic to the crystals themselves, when I think the healing power and all the benefits exist within the selection process of inner consultation, adopting a can-do mindset, all of those. And if you accept that point, you could then argue, well, why are we doing this with crystals at all? And I think that you are correct. They don't have to be crystals. In fact, I don't think you have to do this process with any physical manifestation. If you just want to journal out your experience, or if you want to just sit at the edge of your bed and think about everything and then consult yourself, what do you need? I think that's great. I think that's very beneficial. Although I would say where crystals do have a bit of an edge there is that human emotions, motivations, mental states can often be very nebulous, hard to pin down concepts, and being able to look at a physical manifestation, something like a crystal, and to be able to assign these abstract ideas to a physical manifestation that you can see and touch and feel, I think that provides a lot of clarity and simplicity. I think that can really help make the mindfulness practice of naming one's emotions and emotional states much easier. And with that motivation in mind, if we were going to choose different manifestations of these complex, abstract emotional ideas, I think that there are two options that are seriously worth considering. One is crystals. They're small, radiantly beautiful, very deeply colorful. I feel like they must be talking to some caveman part of the brain. I mean, it's hard to hold them in your hand and not feel like there is something special or unique about them. So I do think that these gemstones are essentially inviting you to assign complex meaning to them. Now, that's a little woo-woo, but go ahead, go pick a couple up and look really deep into them and tell me that they're just a rock. Again, not magical, but they make sense as a physical manifestation of abstract ideas or values. And the second physical manifestation of these values that I think would be really worth considering is the real plot twist here. I think that's just tattoos. I think we're very quick to dismiss anybody who believes in the healing power of crystals as loony, when really we have been assigning deep and personal meaning in physical manifestations with tattoos for thousands of years. I mean, what's really the difference between someone wanting to commemorate an important life lesson that they learned about, say, resiliency and their own strength and power and always getting back up on their own 2 feet? What's really the difference in them commemorating that concept with a tattoo versus them holding on to a topaz? They're both physical manifestations of the same idea, and somehow it being physical, something that you can see and possibly touch, seems to provide a benefit over just thinking and trying to remember these ideas. So if we were to separate wheat from chaff here, my argument is essentially this. I think that there are very real and tangible benefits that supersede merely the placebo effect, although we should also respect the placebo effect. I don't think that the power is held within the crystal itself. I think it's more of the process and mindfulness associated with consulting the crystals that is the really important factor. And while I do believe that there is no inherent healing property of the crystal itself, and you could get all the benefits from simply going through this meditative process, I don't know that I would recommend we completely throw away gemstones either. I think that there are a lot of benefits from having a physical manifestation of these ideas to look at, and I think that gemstones with their color and brilliance and radiance do make sense as a really good object to assign value to. So hey, if you like the idea of having this meditative experience, consulting your emotions, maybe you're struggling with developing a journaling practice or a meditative practice, maybe buying a few crystals could actually be up your alley. And my hope is that by exploring this topic with this more secular, rational mindset can encourage you to keep a more open mind and maybe see if there's something in there that you can apply to your own life. So what do you think about this exploration? Are you considering getting a crystal for yourself? It's kind of funny that after I explained this video topic idea to my girlfriend, she was previously completely against anything that looked like crystals, didn't make any sense. But after I explained this to her, she actually suggested that we go to a crystal shop together sometime and that we could each pick out a gemstone for the other person. I thought that was very sweet of her, and I'm looking forward to going sometime. So tell me what you thought of the video below, and if you have any other ideas that you would like me to explore in a future wheat from chaff video, let me know in the comments below, and I'll see you next time.